Hi, this is Matt Clark. In this video, we're going to talk about inventory estimation and why I use FBA or Fulfillment by Amazon. First off, a little bit of an overview. Number one, it depends on your supplier. A lot of this is going to depend on your supplier, how many you can order initially, what sort of discounts you get, what sort of options you have. I mean, this is a video on inventory, but they may actually drop ship, so you may not actually have to carry any inventory. But a lot of it's going to depend on your supplier. I can't give you a perfect answer for this because some suppliers do all kinds of different things. Some offer very, very small quantities. You can order, some will private label products for just a quantity of one, for example. Other companies won't private label at all, and some companies have, big minimum quantities, such as 500 or 1,000 of whatever you're ordering. So a lot of it's going to depend on your supplier, but the principles are basically the same. And one good thing to keep in mind is you always want to check with multiple suppliers if possible. If you're selling a branded product and you're either drop shipping or wholesaling it, then you may not have too many options. But on the other hand, if you're selling a product that you can get from multiple sources, you always want to check around to see what prices you can get. And if you're sort of low on cash, you want to try to minimize your initial order that you have to place, not have to place for so many units. If that's the case, you're also going to want to check around with different suppliers and see which ones have different options and which ones will work for you. Second thing, big thing, minimize your risk. When you place an order for inventory, that cash goes out the door. I mean, if you're paying with a credit card, it's still money you're going to have to pay. But if your inventory is sitting unsold, that's just basically like putting money in a shoebox under your bed and basically not being able to touch it or do anything with it. Because your inventory is basically just sitting there and it's not doing anything for you. And if you're housing it yourself, it's obviously taking up space and that kind of thing. But even if you're using Fulfillment by Amazon, it's basically money you spent that you haven't gotten anything out of. So you definitely want to minimize your risk. Don't go hog wild trying to buy, a bunch of different products that you have no idea whether or not they'll sell well. It seems kind of common sense, but a lot of people get a lot of money tied up in inventory that ends up costing them a lot of money, especially if you're selling something like health supplements where products actually expire. So they can't just sit on their shelves, hopefully selling someday, because they very well may expire, and that's completely wasted money that you could have used for something else in your business or for fun. So step number three, focus on a small number of products initially. This is going to help you sort of get your inventory systems down, your reordering systems, and however you're processing the inventory. So initially, you're definitely going to want to focus on a small number of products, 1 to 3 basically, because then you're able to sort of manage that inventory, make sure you're not ordering too much, make sure you're reordering it, because if a product's selling well, next best thing, not having enough to having too much inventory for a product that's not selling well, is to have a product that is selling well and not having any inventory to sell. Then you're basically missing a ton of sales where that could basically be, pretty much free money if the margins work out for you. So that's a little bit of an overview on inventory. So for your initial order, first thing is, what can you afford? Because you obviously, if you, for whatever reason, if a product's ranked extremely well on Amazon, you're very, very, very confident that it'll sell well, and it could be a sort of short-term, TV segment or that kind of thing that made the product popular. So if you jump on it, you could make quite a bit of money pretty fast. This has happened to us quite a few times. But if you don't have enough money to buy a significant amount of inventory, or if you're having to, mortgage your house to basically do that kind of thing, then you obviously want to, forego that, big opportunity for your own sort of financial security. So with that said, one thing it's going to depend on is what you can afford. You may only be able to afford, like I said in this next part of this, 10 to 20 units. You may be able to afford a bunch more if you get a huge price break and you're very confident that it will sell. So I mean, that's sort of one thing that it's going to depend on. As just a rough metric, I say stick between 10 to 20 for your first order. This is going to give you enough inventory to actually be able to sell and make some money, but not give you too much to where if the thing doesn't sell at all or something weird happens, then basically you're not stuck with too much inventory. And now 10 to 20 is a rough sort of estimate, because if you're selling a product that's very, very high priced, then you may not be able to get that much. But most of the products you're probably going to be selling on Amazon are probably going to be affordable at 10 to 20 units basically. And you're going to want to check on quantity discounts. Whether or not you use them right now, doesn't really matter, but you're still going to go ahead and check on them right now because, ordering 10 to 20, you may not hit any quantity discounts. But that's something to keep in mind to where if you just pull a number out of your head, say, I want to order 12, but if you find out if you order 13, you may get 20% discount or something like that, then that's obviously something worth looking into. And if nothing else, it's good to know for the future and to sort of plan accordingly if the product starts selling very well. And you're going to want to consider one thing you can do, which may or may not apply to a lot of people because it's kind of tough to find people like this. But if you happen to know somebody else within the membership area of the training course, or just a friend, family, or whatever that's basically has their own e-commerce website or is also selling on Amazon, you can consider partnering with them to basically hit those quantity discounts, but not have to hold so much inventory yourself. When I got into the market for that raspberry ketones product, which I mentioned in some other videos, or in maybe some videos in the future, basically the first order I placed, I split with somebody else who has his own e-commerce business. He sells a bunch on eBay, does a tiny bit on Amazon. But we basically split an order because we got a heck of a lot cheaper price. And it was a product that was sort of flying off the shelves. So also by placing that bigger order, we were able to, basically negotiate with the supplier to make sure that we got the product faster than everybody else because it was a bigger order. So with that said, got a cheaper price, worked out a good deal for everybody. We weren't necessarily directly competing or anything like that. So that's a good deal, and that's something you can keep in mind. Oh, you may not be able to do it all the times. So as far as fulfillment, fulfillment's a pain in the butt. I mean, I'll tell you right now, because you basically, what's involved as far as fulfillment is you have to receive the inventory, the bulk order, then you have to basically print packing slips, print shipping labels, all for the individual orders that come through Amazon. And then, you can print those directly from Amazon, but it's still kind of a pain in the butt. You can even have an outsourcer do it. But then you basically have to make sure that all the correct products are put in the packages, that the packing slips put in there, that the correct shipping labels put on there. And before all that, you actually have to buy shipping supplies, and you have to do all that sort of thing. And then you have to ship orders out and hope that the shipping company doesn't mess anything up. And then when either they mess something up or your fulfillment team, or if you're doing it yourself, if you mess up an order, then a lot of times if you can't get that product back, if the product's basically lost, or sometimes it ends up in who knows where, and nobody really knows what's going on, but you have this customer service that you really have to sort of stay on top of, especially with Amazon, or else your seller rating will be negatively affected, and that can really hurt you as a seller on Amazon. So then you have to basically go ship out another whatever it is to the customer, and hopefully that one gets there. And when all that good stuff happens, then hopefully you've got a happy customer. So with that said, it's a lot of work. So we've started moving basically exclusively to fulfillment by Amazon for our Amazon sales. The reason we do this is because with fulfillment by Amazon, you basically send your bulk sort of shipment, however many units you're willing to sell. You basically order it from your supplier, and then if they can ship it directly to Amazon, that's great. If you have to ship it, that's fine. You just receive it, basically throw Amazon shipping label on there, send it to Amazon, and then they handle everything. They process all the orders for you. They handle all the customer service. If a package gets messed up, it's on them. And they even basically cover the shipping cost. A lot of times they offer free shipping, so they're basically eating shipping costs. They get ridiculous rates with UPS and USPS, but basically they handle all the customer service and all fulfillment. So it's sort of a win-win deal, and their rates are very, very low because they do such crazy volume that what they charge you fulfillment is lower than you'd ever be able to do it to yourself, and plus saves you a heck of a lot of headache. You don't need a warehouse. You don't have to have boxes laying all around your house or anything like that. So that's sort of why we use fulfillment by Amazon. I highly recommend that you use that. There are not many reasons why you wouldn't, unless you're maybe drop shipping. So that's basically why we use fulfillment by Amazon. So a little bit of an overview, basically how that process works. You need to list a product for sale on Amazon. Could be a product that's already selling on Amazon, could be a private label product or wholesale product that you're putting on there. You basically need to either create that Amazon listing or tell Amazon that you're selling your product, which is covered on those videos. Then Amazon gives you a little option that says if you want Amazon to fulfill the inventory, it says change listing to fulfilled by Amazon. You can do it for existing listing or whenever you add a new one. It's just a little bubble you select, and you're basically going to do that. So then you're no longer selling that item yourself. You have to actually send inventory to Amazon to get any more orders processed. But that's basically how you get that set up. And then whenever you're ready to send inventory to Amazon, you're basically going to find it within your seller dashboard, that inventory item, and click Send/Replenish Inventory. Once you do that, Amazon's going to ask you how many you want to send to them. You're going to print a packing slip and shipping label. And if you have a supplier that's doing this for you, you can basically send those two items to them and they can have it shipped directly to Amazon. Or if they have to send it to you, then you basically put that packing slip inside the box, put the shipping label on top of the box, and you send your inventory to Amazon. That's basically all that's involved. And then Amazon will start processing all the sales that come through all itself, and it basically, pays you every 14 days. So a little bit on managing your inventory. So you're going to want to watch it within Seller Central. Amazon actually has a little notification area that says, this product is out of stock, etc., etc. That's one thing to watch, or you can just watch it periodically, once a day, once every couple days, once a week, just depending on how much inventory you're carrying and how fast it's selling and how much you want to be on top of it. And one thing to note is you're going to want to estimate for about 5 to 10 days until restock. So if you see a product that's running low, don't wait until the last minute, especially if it's selling well. Otherwise, you're probably going to run out of stock on Amazon, and then while it's waiting to be restocked because you ship more inventory to Amazon, you're basically not getting any sales for those days. So I say 5 to 10 days because if you have a supplier that's shipping directly to Amazon, it may only take 3 to 4 business days or so because you can have them ship directly to Amazon. But if they have to ship it to you first and you have to ship it to Amazon, that whole process could take up to 10 days. So you'll sort of want to budget accordingly. Make sure you have plenty of inventory on Amazon for a good selling product, and you don't want to run out, otherwise you're just missing sales. So if a product is not selling, this is very important, you can run a promotion on Amazon. We've covered that in another video. You just click the little promotions link, and you can run a promotion to offer a discount on it, or you can basically drop the price either through a sale or just permanently drop the price. Do whatever you can to sort of get rid of that inventory and don't carry that product anymore if it's not selling very well. There's other things you can do, other products you can focus on. And like I said, inventory that's not selling is basically just sitting there and not making you any money. It's just sort of tying up cash that you've already spent. So a little bit on your product selection. First thing, grow it slowly. If you're selling private label products, wholesale products, you're not going to want to go, jump in to try to sell, a million products all at once. Grow it slowly, make sure that everything's under control, you're getting the inventory on time, you're sending it to Amazon, the products that are listed on Amazon with your inventory are selling well, the ones that aren't, you're getting rid of. So this whole process, you want to get a good feel for it until you get a good system down to basically, grow it slowly. Focus on those 1 to 3 products that sell well, and just keep replenishing inventory, and then you can start sort of growing from there and looking for other products to sell. So basically, whenever you have more inventory, more products, you're basically going to have more products to manage. You're going to have more potential inventory sitting unsold. But the more you do this, the better you'll get at determining what products will sell and what products won't. But with all that said, there's some trouble in growing your product selection, and that's expected. But the fastest way to make more money is to increase your product selection. More products you sell, more money you make. But there's also more risk in tying up cash and selling products that don't sell. So with all that said, grow your product selection slowly, and do plan on growing it if you want to make more money. So this is your little bit of information on inventory. I hope this clears a lot of things up, and look for the next video.